Today's adventure takes us to Romeoville, Illinois, and to a pioneer cemetery, a cemetery that goes back to 1845, called Alexander Cemetery, started by the Alexander family. The first burial here is Mr. Alexander's 3-year-old daughter, Mary Alexander, back in 1845. And this should be a pretty nice exploration, I hope. So come join me as we explore Alexander Cemetery. Okay, everybody, welcome back for another cemetery video. It's been a little bit sparse here lately due to weather. We had a little bit of winter here in Chicago. Some cold temperatures, some snow, and quite frankly, it's not that much fun going out exploring when it's below zero. Here we come up to Alexander Cemetery, a true pioneer cemetery going back to the first settlers of this area. Hopefully the gate's unlocked. If not, this will be a very short video. So we'll see. There appears to be a lock on the gate. Okay, well done. The gate is locked, so that is going to be a short video today. You can see up there, Alexander Cemetery. So I guess we will sort of look through the gate. Not the most fascinating thing ever, but we can't get in. Usually cemeteries are not locked. Here's some history of Alexander Cemetery. At the beginning of the 19th century, a French hunter and trapper named Dupaz, now DuPage, settled at the junction of the east and west branches of the river that now bears his name. The winter of deep snow in 1830 to 31 found the first settlers staking their claim. The land on which the cemetery lies first belonged to James L. Alexander, and I have a little history on him that I will read, who came from Wayne County, New York in 1837 and purchased the land in 1841. The first burial was his 3-year-old daughter, Mary Alexander, on October 9th, 1845. The Alexander farm went through inheritance to Thomas Williams, who came here in 1836 to work on the I&M Canal. It was later known by the Kerman family from 1883 to 1949, when it was bought by the Meekin family. Alexander, Williams, and Kerman are the names that predominate on the gravestones, along with Stafford, Welch, Gowdy, and Taylor, among others. The cemetery fell in disrepair in the 80s. In 1990, DuPage Township restored the cemetery and maintains it to this day. However, apparently they don't let people enjoy it, as you cannot get into the cemetery, which kind of really sucks, but oh well. I wonder if it's ever open. Why have a beautiful pioneer cemetery if you can't visit it? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We'll walk the perimeter a little bit here. So they did say Stafford was one of the names in here, and Stafford was one of the early pioneers. Not real early, 1876 is when he was born. But I wanted to, I found a little blurb about John Stafford and what happened to him. He actually committed suicide. He's buried in the cemetery. And I wanted to read a little story here on John Stafford as we walk the perimeter of this beautiful little cemetery. So John Stafford, age 30, committed suicide late yesterday afternoon at the home of Mrs. Long, 813 Collins Street, by drinking a quantity of acid. That is not a good way to go. The cause of the rash act cannot be explained by his friends, but the fact that he had not been living with his family for a year or so and had frequently been seen on sprees, leading to the belief that he had become despondent over his troubles and habits. So that is interesting. I don't know what that means. Stafford worked at the Fox plant on Collins Street up to a few days ago when he was discharged. I would go on the other side of the cemetery, but there's a busy street, as you can see, and it's loud. So I'm going to stay on this side, and we'll just continue to pan through this, and I'll tell you the story, finish up the story. It is said that he could have gotten work at the steel mill at once, but the fact that he didn't take it leads to believe that he contemplated taking his life. The man appeared to be in his usual spirits yesterday, and the people around the boarding house of Mrs. Long say they saw nothing to make them suspicious. He ate his breakfast as usual yesterday morning and then went out. Later in the day, Mrs. Long left the house to attend to some household duties, and it is supposed Stafford returned while she was away and went to his room and locked himself in. As the man was not seen to enter the house late in the afternoon, Mrs. Long ordered the room to be put in condition for one of the boarders who worked on the day turn. Then it was learned that the room was occupied, for the door was locked. The boarding mistress notified Justin M. Poor, a friend of Stafford, to investigate, and he broke open the door. As soon as the room was open, the strong odor of the powerful drug told the story. The man was lying in the bed, cold in death. Not a good way to go. The indications were that he had been dead several hours, and the probabilities are that he had committed the deed as soon as he returned to the house. He committed the deed, not the dead. It's hard to read, walk, film, and chew gum, which I'm not, by the way. Okay, where am I? The indications were that he had been dead several hours, and the probabilities are that he had committed the deed as soon as he returned to the house in the morning. At the coroner's inquest held this morning, it was learned that the acid was purchased from Louis Plitt on Collins Street, 1 block from where the man was boarding. The bottle contained 2 ounces of acid, and a trifle more than half was drunk by the man. The dead man leaves a wife and 1 child. So there you go, the story of John Stafford committing suicide by drinking acid. What a painful way to go. Well, that's too bad. Let's see, one there. That's Charles Peterson, 1876 to 1951. There's the Stafford Monument. Right, let's see if we can zoom in on it here. Come on, you can do this. Right there. So I wonder if that is the monument of John Stafford, or at least some of his family, or what have you. Not a good way to go at all. Alexander Cemetery. Started by the Alexander family back in 1845. Okay, since the cemetery is locked, I've noticed this was right next to the cemetery. It's like a little city or something. I don't know. There's a sign that says no trespassing. Well, what is this for? Is this for the public, or what the heck is this for? So we're going to walk around here. We're in Romeoville. So anyone from Romeoville or the area knows what the heck this is, please leave it in the comments. There's like small streets and small buildings, and it's pretty neat looking. I just don't know what it is. And then we have a memorial here to the armed services: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Air Force. Let's check this out while we're here. Before I do that, there are some tributes here. Got some tributes along this path. Kyle James Wright passed away in 2010, killed in action. Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Thank you, sir, for your service. Then we have Leo Miller, 1947 to 1968. Killed in action in 1968, Operation Mead River in Vietnam. Thank you for your service. And then we have Private First Class James Sweeney, 1953 to 1972. Vietnam War, South Vietnam. Thank you, sir, for your service as well. Nice memorial to those fallen soldiers killed in action. These are very nice. Army. This will defend. We will. June 14th, 1775. And the U.S. Army hymn. Then we have the Navy. October 13th, 1775. Then the Navy hymn. Very nice monuments. Marines. November 10th, 1775. Semper Fidelis. Very nice monument. Then the Marines Corps hymn there. And we have Coast Guard. August 4th, 1790. Always ready, it says. Coast Guard hymn. And finally, the Air Force, September 18th, 1947. Really nice monuments. And then here we have some bricks. The memory of some veterans. Okay, still trying to figure out what this is. Here's Edward Doc McCartan Veterans Memorial. You can see that there. Yeah, don't know what this is at all. Dog park? One would think dog park, but why would there be a no trespassing sign at a dog park? That is a great question. All right. Don't know. Okay, as we come around to this side, which would be I believe, the west side of this. And once again, get a no trespassing sign. We see a Caboose. Remember the Cabooses? Used to be the last car on the trains. Yeah, Caboose. And we have, well, this just says passing. It doesn't say no trespassing, so I don't know what that even means. Again, this is locked, just like everything else in this town seems to be locked. And then it says Romeoville. It looks like a station, like a train station, but I have no idea what this is. None. Kind of odd. You would think there would be a sign saying this is what this is, but nope. No sign. No sign that I see anyways. It's a nice building though. It's a pretty large building for whatever that is that we can't get into. Strange. Very strange. Alright guys, well, what can you do? Can't get in. Nobody gave me a key. I don't even know who to contact to get a key. Maybe the Historical Society or somebody, but not getting in the cemetery today. You know, we finally get a nice day here in Chicago, which is rare in the winter. Thought I'd come out. It's been a couple of weeks since I've explored. Thought I'd come out, explore the cemetery out here, and it's locked. Oh well. You know, very few cemeteries that I find are locked. There's a couple, not too many. There was that one I got locked in. That's a whole other story and video. But thank you so much for coming along with me today. Hope you enjoyed the story of John Stafford. And as always, until next time, keep exploring.